Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF here with my co-host Lou. What's up, Lou? How you
Going on,
doing today,
buddy?
bro?
How's it going, man? How's everybody going? You doing,
Doing
Dan?
good. Hey, man, we missed you on here, bro. Been a couple of weeks, but it's glad to have you back. NBA coast to coast, guys. You guys know from the West Coast to the East Coast. We got a lot to talk about, man. The Lakers just went crazy last night and blew out the Clippers, rightfully so.
Yep.
Cade Cunningham got the Detroit Pistons going crazy. So we're gonna start right there with Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, man. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons are 15-2 on the season. That is the second best record after OKC, who's 17-1. Okay. I gotta ask my boy Lou, man, what is going on with young NBA teams? It's a young NBA league, man. What is going on, fam?
That's it. Not only is it a young NBA league, it's a big lead guard league. You got to have a superstar at the guard spot. That's just big now. Like that's look at SGA, look at K. They're just young, dominant, athletic, tall, and I don't know, man. They're just running the show like no one else. You got aren't the Lakers in second too? Or say Lakers in second, right?
We're in
And they got
second place in
and,
the West.
and
Yeah.
look at their guard. They got Luka 6'7". I think it's. I
Yeah.
think we're seeing that teams that have those big guards are they're playing well, man.
Yeah, you know what? You make a great point. I didn't even think of it like that, man. I'm looking at the youth though, and yeah, like you said, Luca, the Lakers got younger in the offseason. We went out and got some young bucks as well, man. Versatility at the wing position as well. But the Pistons at 15-2, man. Do you think like they are actually legit contenders? And what's up, Eric? Good to see you, bro. What's up,
I'm not
Kimco?
gonna say contenders. What's going on, Eric? I'm not gonna say contenders. But they're definitely gonna make a deep push in the playoffs. They took the Knicks to like I think it was 6 or 7 games in the first round, and we made it to the conference finals. So I can see them going to the conference finals and probably making a run for it. But I don't know about I can't say contenders yet. They still the Pistons. In my eyes, the Pistons are still the Pistons until I see that they prove me wrong.
I like the way you think. I'm the same way, bro. With a lot of teams, I always think like, oh, okay, they're having a nice little run. You can't define our entire NBA season on a nice little run because it's a long season. We're barely in the first quarter of the season. We're not even done with the first quarter, and it's gonna get tougher, right? For like people get healthy, people get hurt all the time, and it changes the projection of the season. And then the trades happen around the trade deadline. So
Exactly.
there's gonna be a lot of stuff that moving parts and stuff. What's up, Solo? Good to see y'all, fam. Good morning. Good morning. In the West Coast, good afternoon, East Coast. And talk about trades, man. LaMelo Ball was recently involved in trade rumors. He shut down the rumors, said he's happy in Charlotte. Ja Morant has been involved in tons of rumors. According to multiple reports this morning, the Kings reached out to the Grizzlies to register interest. You got to put your money on it. Who would you think is traded first, Ja Morant or LaMelo Ball?
Probably Ja. Probably
Ja
Ja. I
Morant.
don't. I think Lamelo's just not happy because they're not winning.
Mhm.
Versus Ja, I feel like not only is he not happy, but the organization's not happy with him. I think Charlotte wants Lamelo. Lamelo just wants out. So that can be fixed. I don't think what's going on in Memphis can be fixed. I think once they find a good deal, they're just gonna ship him out because they don't want that headache anymore. And Ja don't want to be there anyway. So I think he'll go first, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I think Ja will as well. People are already inquiring. Usually, when teams are inquiring about certain players or certain teams, that means they're out there and they're available in the market. They don't inquire unless their name was made available. So, yeah, I think we might even see Ja Morant move. If not in this trade deadline, maybe this offseason. But I would love to see him move this trade deadline just to kind of splash it up a little bit. You know, we love trades
Yep.
and we love talking about stuff like that. That would definitely give us a lot to talk about, man. But yeah, man, the NBA standings, I'm looking at them right now. I see your Knicks, man. They're at 10-4 right now.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Knicks have gotten up to a little bit of a slow start? Not, I wouldn't say like a major slow start, but a little bit
I
based on
mean,
what we
the
were expecting.
the normal stuff, injuries, getting adjusted to the system. I feel like we got better on offense with Mike Brown, but we lost a lot of our defensive identity. Like you can see it when I don't know if you've watched any Nick games really, but you notice it, man. Like the ball movement is crazy now. Before it was just Brunson, 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 and now it's movement. However, on the defensive end, we look lost as hell. Cat too. Cat looks like the worst player in the league on defense. You look at the stat sheet, 25-12. You think he had a dominant game, but when you watch the game, bro, he just doesn't look like he knows what's going on defense. So I think that's probably what it is. But I think we'll get it together. I think we'll be all right.
I think you guys will get it together as well. As far as that goes, anytime you incorporate a new coach, is gonna change, and then you incorporate some new players as well, right? So you're gonna have ups and downs during the season. I think right now you guys are just trying to find your footing. I still think the Knicks finished top 2. I told you, I think last time we were here, I got the Knicks top 2 in the NBA. So I think you're still going to finish there. What up, Solo? Hey, man, appreciate having you here, Solo. Good stuff, bro. What's up, JoJo? Look, here's the bottom line with the Knicks. The Knicks have the firepower to get out of the East. They have it. On paper, it's there, bro. Yep. On paper, it is there. Here's my thing, right? My thing about that is just the fact that will they do it? Because, again, I didn't expect the Pistons to come out to this type of start right here. But, again, it is just a start. 15-2 is crazy. They have won 13 in a row. They have the highest win streak in the NBA right now. So, they are absolutely a problem. And so I didn't expect that. Do you think the Pistons are going to be the biggest threat to the Knicks in the East?
No. That's still Cleveland, in my opinion.
You still think it's going to be Cleveland?
Yeah, because when it comes push to shove, bro, playoffs is different. A regular season, it's a regular season, bro. When it comes to the playoffs, the Cavaliers got a roster that's like constructed to beat every team in the East from top to bottom. Where the Pistons are hot right now, I think they're catching people off guard too. Like, you got to remember, a lot of these teams, they don't, when they see the Pistons, I mean, now they're probably preparing, but I'm talking about the beginning of the season. Oh, the Pistons up, we're good. We can take a break. We don't got to practice. It's the Pistons. So a lot of teams got caught off guard with how well they're playing. I think come January, they're going to get smacked back to reality and start. Not that they're going to suck, but they're not going to be as consistent winning as they are now. So I don't see them as a threat.
You might be onto something there. For sure, man. I'll tell you, the Pistons do scare me a little bit for your Knicks, just a little bit, because they're young, they're hungry, they're up and coming, they're getting better, kind of like the Thunder. Thunder getting better. Yeah. The only team that I think stand in the way of my Lakers in the West is the Thunder. That's it. And I actually heard a couple of analysts talking about how the Lakers, even though we were dominant versus the Clippers, how we don't have enough off the bench to compete with the Thunder. What is your take on that? And then I'll give you my take on that. How you feel about that?
I think they have enough. It depends on what they do with is Reeves still starting, or he comes off the bench on LeBron's back?
Yeah.
Do you know if he's coming off the bench now?
Who?
Reeves, Austin Reeves.
No, he's not coming off the bench. He's starting.
He's still starting.
And let me tell you something, man. Last night, Reeves, Luka, and LeBron combined for 99 points. All right. Luka had 40 plus. Austin Reeves had 31 and 10 rebounds. And by the way, Luka almost had a triple-double. He had 13 assists, 43, 13 assists, and 9 rebounds. LeBron had his best game at 25 points and 6 assists and 6 rebounds yesterday. So those three combined, I don't think you could break that up in the starting lineup. I used to think Austin should come off the bench, but they found a way. And what I think, and we talked about this before he came back. You asked me if I thought LeBron was going to fit in, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, because he's a cerebral player. Well, you're seeing it now. It is in his best interest to take the backseat to both Luka and Austin, because that's the best backcourt in the NBA. Yeah. And he's done that. He's allowing them to flourish. The fact that Luka's the MVP of the season. I don't care what nobody says. People want to give it to Jokic. Jokic is averaging phenomenal numbers, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Jokic is put up 29 points, 11 assists, and 12 rebounds. We have an identical record to them. Here's where I have a problem. If Luka's not going to win the MVP, which I think he should, he's averaging 35 points a game. He's averaging 9 assists and 8 rebounds, 8.8 rebounds, damn near 9, and he's shooting phenomenal from the field. He's shooting 47% from the field. If Luka does not get the MVP, the only reason he shouldn't get the MVP is because Shai gets the MVP. Shai's averaging 32, and he's got the NBA best record of 17-1. So again, I think the only person who's better than Luka this season is not better, but has his team in a better position is Shai. Who do you think should be the MVP of the end? The season ended right now today, man. Who do you think?
So if it ended right now,
I'm
gonna have to give it to Cade. I'm gonna have to give it to Cade Cunningham right now.
Well, Cade Cunningham is currently 4th in the power rankings right now.
No, yeah, but I'm saying they have a 13 win streak. They're 15-2.
Yeah.
So if I'm just saying based off right this instant, I'm gonna give it to Cade off that. Now, obviously that's not how it works. There's a reason why that's not how it works. But if I had if you're asking me to project who I think will get it based off what we're seeing now, probably Luka. You can't listen. 40 points, triple. That's a 40-point triple double. You round up 40, 10, and 10. When's the last time we seen a guy average 40, 10, and 10? Never. I think the closest to it is Russell Westbrook and OKC. 30, 10, and 10 was 30, 10, and 11, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we haven't seen a player average over 30 in a triple double since Russ. And he was I think when he won the MVP, they were 6 in the West.
Uh-huh.
So if he could win the MVP 6 in the West, why can't Luka win it on a 40-point triple double, 2nd in the West, right? I mean, that's using logic.
All I'm saying is he came into shape this season. He led the team even when LeBron was out, and the dude is averaging 35, shooting high splits in the tough Western Conference. He's leading the league in scoring. It's not, I don't think we can take that for granted. Now, here's my problem with the NBA and with analysts. All right, we had Stan Van Gundy on Nikola Jokic saying he might be the best player in the history of the NBA. How? The motherfucker has 1 championship. I don't understand how you can catapult players based off individual. I'm getting sick of people handing out awards before they earn them, bro. First of all, Jokic is nowhere near the championship that Dirk won throughout his career is way better than the one Jokic won. Okay, that by itself, I still have Dirk up here. Now, obviously, Jokic is more skilled and he's got more talent and this and that. But for me, the way I analyze GOATs is skill times accomplishments times entire body of work and career. It is nuts to me to hear that they're calling this man the greatest big man when we've had guys like Shaq who have 4 championships. We have guys like Kareem that have 5 championships. We have guys like, some of the best bigs that have come through here. What do you feel about people just handing off awards to players like Jokic?
So what I think it is, people get caught up with the regular season. Like I was saying before, there's 2 seasons in the NBA. We got the 82-game regular season, and then we got the playoffs. And what happens is people get caught up with what you do in the regular season, and they ignore what you do in the playoffs. Which is why, in my opinion, I think the NBA need to stop giving awards out after the season. They need to count the whole thing because it shows you who's really the greatest and who's really not. Now, if you're asking me who's the greatest regular season player I've ever seen, it's probably going to be Jordan, LeBron, and I would probably put Jokic in top 3 to 5 because regular season, bro, that dude's dominant. I've never seen anything like it. His percentages, his true shooting percentages, all the stats, everything. But when it comes to the playoffs, he's not the same guy. Stats, statistically, yes, he's the same guy. But winning and dominating the regular season, it's not the same guy. Now, obviously, wins is a team thing. I get it. But your team is only as good as your best player. So if you're the best player on the team and you're not getting it done, I'm sorry, but that's on you, right? Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. Look, at the end of the day, I'm tired of people comparing players to great players that have won. For example, do you remember when Booker made it to the finals and Stephen A. Clown Smith said that Booker was the next Kobe Bryant? Yep. I had a fucking meltdown because I'm like, can he at least win multiple championships, multiple defensive player of the years, 18-time All-Star before we even compare him in the same vicinity? He wasn't in the neighborhood of a Kobe Bryant.
They desperate for that.
Yes. It's like they're just looking to hand off awards. How are you going to call Jokic a GOAT when you have Tim Duncan out there as a big man? When you've had Pau Gasol who has multiple rings as a big man? When you've had Shaq who's dominated, one of the most dominant of all time? When you have, and in the playoffs too, in the finals, you just can't do it. And you know what? And I've had this argument with some LeBron fans too that say he's the GOAT over Jordan. The 6-0 finals record doesn't mean anything. I understand your argument as far as his longevity and his personal accomplishments, but at the end of the day, you play basketball to win championships. And so we're going to measure you, how many times you win the finals, how many times you won a championship. All that matters, whether you want a handicapped argument or not. It matters. Why does it matter? Because if you throw all that out of the window, the same arguments you're making for LeBron, when the next generation comes and they win no championship, let's just say Wemby. Wemby plays his entire career, and the youth starts calling him the GOAT. And you say, well, LeBron got 4 championships. They're going to be like, championships don't matter. LeBron said it himself, right? So You can. I'm tired of these arguments that have no basis and no merit. At the end of the day, Jokic has one championship. He's not going to win another championship. I'm guaranteeing you right now on the live stream, unless he goes to the Lakers or the Knicks or some power franchise that can build properly around him, he's not going to win another championship. Denver Nuggets don't have the horses. They don't have the market to land major free agents. He's not going to win another one. I guarantee it right here on the live stream. And people were riding the wave when he won that championship and thought he was going to go back to back and then again. And I said he was a one-trick pony. He was blessed with some injuries that happened in the West, and sometimes it has to align that way for you in the playoffs. But he's nowhere near in the GOAT conversation, bro. They did the same thing to Curry. They tried to catapult him over Magic. They tried to catapult him over so many players. It's like, dude, he's got 4 championships. He's impressive. Okay, great. But in reality, other players have more, and they've done more with less. Okay, with less time and with less talent around them, and all that matters. Would you agree that the talent you've had in your career matters in the GOAT conversation versus not? Or
not? 100%. Not the talent in your career. Like, I would go off of when the years that you've won. I would look at the roster because there's super teams that flop all the time. So I'll go by your championships. Let's say Curry, he won 4 rings. 2 of those rings he had Durant, and I can't say Clay and Draymond because they were drafted there. Those guys, they weren't traded, they weren't signed, they were drafted there. So you got to give the organization props for that. But they did for 2 of those rings. They signed the best player on the planet. So you do have to look at those 2 rings and say, yeah, I mean, I know you won before and you won after, but it was kind of wishy-washy getting Durant over there. Same thing with Bron. When you look at Bron's first 2 rings, it was kind of like, Wade Bosh, but then he went to Cleveland, won 1. He went to LA, won 1. So you got to give him credit. Jokic, like you said, the injuries came up. They played Boston, I think, right? They beat Boston that year, and Boston was like, they didn't even deserve to be in the finals. They were like, I don't even know how they got there. That was like the worst, in my opinion. That's probably the worst finals we've had in the last like 5 years.
It was boring, bro. It was a snooze.
Between that and the Phoenix Milwaukee one, those 2 sucked. But I don't know. Like I to call him the GOAT is crazy. Like people just care about stats, man. Stats and that's really it. Just stats. That's what a lot of the fans today. That's what they care about. And that's why the kids are so selfish now. They go out there and try to drop 30. They go over there and try to pad their stats because that's what makes them great. That's what and I blame people that's on the mainstream media, not guys like us right now. But if you go on and put on, no shade to anybody, but you put on ESPN and you look at these guys, the Pistons right now are going crazy, but they'll talk about Giannis. Let's say Giannis when he was playing, he had a 30-point game. Even if he lost, they'll talk about Giannis's 30-point game because he's a superstar, but they won't brag about the kids that just had 13 in a row. Like a lot of that has to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, those are great points. And I tell you, man, I'm sick of them trying to diminish ring culture. It matters, man. It fucking matters. You play. Look, in any sport, right? How do we evaluate athletes? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, how many belts they won? Okay, how many titles? Right, even in individual sports. And here's the thing, I think you mentioned Kevin Durant's championships with Curry. Yes, very diminished because they already had a great team and they went and got Durant on top of that. Yeah. You mentioned LeBron's championships, also diminished. Not all of them. I think here's what to me saved LeBron's career and actually elevates him and catapults him as one of the GOATs in the GOAT conversation. Besides the individual stats, the fact that he's done something no other superstar has done. He has led 3 different franchises to a championship. Okay, that's what saves it because he went to Miami. He was the guy, not Wade anymore. It was him. He came back to Cleveland, the guy. He went to LA, the guy. Right, Finals MVP on all of them. So that's what saves LeBron from being in the same conversation as like a Kevin Durant or like a Curry. Those are like lower tier megastars, right? So to me, what catapult LeBron with Jordan and with the Kobe's, and for me, I also look at the value of the championship. For example, Dirk Nowitzki's finals championship is one championship he has. Mm-hmm. No, actually, he has one.
There's one, yeah.
His one championship he has, to me, is worth like 2 or 3 because he was the lone superstar. Mm-hmm. He beat the Miami Heatles, is what they called themselves. We're talking about Wade, who was still in his prime. Chris Bosh, who was still in his prime. Yep. They had, I forgot all the damn good role players. They had Jason Williams. They had freaking, didn't they have Ray Allen? I'm not sure. Maybe Ray Allen.
Not yet. No, not yet. Not that year.
But they had so many great role players on that team. Nobody had pegged the Dallas Mavericks to win yet. We were all rooting for the Dallas Mavericks at that time to win. That was one of the greatest underdog championships I've ever seen. And Dirk put on just a great performance that I still have him over Jokic, because Jokic wouldn't have been able to do that against the Heat. Absolutely fucking not. You know, so
and that's why I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's why I separate the regular season with the playoffs, because right now, if you ask a young fan to look up Dirk Nowitzki's career stats, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he got nothing on Jokic," and we got to stop doing that. That's regular season stuff. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki went crazy that year, bro. He was dominant. He was not only was he only superstar, he didn't have an all-star teammate on that roster, bro. And if he did have an all-star teammate, they were already past their prime. Kid, Tyson wasn't even an all-star yet. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's regular season.
It reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? What Dirk did? Kind of the last two championships of Kobe's career. Kobe did not have a super team the last two championships. He had good role players and Gasol, who was an all-star. And he was a borderline all-star, because people forget, before he got to the Lakers, he had only made like two all-stars before he got there. And he didn't have no playoff success on Memphis. So it's not like he was on even Anthony Davis level. You know, he wasn't there. So Gasol was elite, and I'm not going to diminish him. He was elite, but Kobe made him more elite. And so it was Kobe and Gasol, and they went up against some really, truly stacked teams in the playoffs and in the finals. And that's, to me, the last two championships that Kobe won in his career were that much more significant because of that. Because the teams we had with Shaq, obviously, with Prime Shaq, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, like, we just had some amazing talent, Hall of Fame level talent. But the talent, think about the talent we had in the last couple of championships. Lamar Odom, great player. Did he ever make an all-star team?
I don't think so, no. If he did, not on the Lakers. I don't think he made one of the Lakers.
No, he won Sixth Man of the Year one year with the Lakers. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't think he made an all-star team with the Lakers.
No. So never made an all-star team.
I think if anything, I think Bynum made an all-star team over Odom. I think Bynum made one.
Bynum made one, and that was after Gasol came, because they couldn't double team him no more, so he could go one-on-one. He had a nice little.
Yeah, I remember that.
Not the green for that. He's fine. But my point is, Kobe won, and you look at the teams he went up against, they were stacked. And so those last two championships were even more impressive to me than the first three because of that.
But that's why when it comes to that whole Curry thing, I don't give shade towards Curry. I give it more towards Durant. The same thing with the Shaq and Kobe thing. Like, people want to talk about how Kobe's rings, Shaq was the best player. That's not on Kobe. That's on Shaq. Kobe was there. Kobe was on the team. Kobe was drafted. Now, he wasn't drafted by the Lakers, but he basically got drafted by the Lakers. And you can't diminish Kobe's success because of a great player wanted to go over there and play in LA. Same thing with Curry. Curry was there already. Curry won one without Durant. He won two without Durant. Durant decided to jump ship. And to be honest, if I'm Steph Curry, I'm not going to say, no, I want to do this on my own. Go ahead. You want to ride the train? Come on, bro. Help me out. But that's on Durant. I think when the conversation comes between Durant and Curry, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Curry, Durant's better than Curry. That's where I draw the line. Like, you could say LeBron's better. That's fine. Kobe's better. That's fine, too. I agree with all that. When you're talking about Durant and Curry, I don't ever want to hear anyone tell me that Kevin Durant's a better basketball player than Stephen Curry when he couldn't do a damn thing without him in his whole career. He couldn't, and he had the most help. They want to talk about LeBron having help. Kevin Durant had the most help in the last, 10 seasons that I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about Westbrook, Harden, Ibaka. Then he went to Golden State, Curry, Clay, Draymond. Then he went to Brooklyn with Kyrie.
He also played with Kyrie. Yeah.
Then he went to Devin Booker. And then he went with Chris Paul. Well, no, not Chris Paul. It was Devin Booker. And who was Bradley Beal. And now he's in Houston. Come on, bro. He had the most help I've ever seen in my life. And he hasn't done anything until he joined up with Stephen Curry. That's the guy we got to stop glorifying.
No, I don't glorify Kevin Durant. I've always said it on this stream that Kevin Durant is the most disappointing superstar in the history of the NBA, because he came in here with a world of potential, one of the best face-up stars coming out of Texas. He was just a beast, and I thought he was going to be up there in the same level with LeBron and them. No, he is a grade below for sure, because he took the easy route, and he hasn't been able to replicate that success anywhere he went. And like you said, he's played with insane talent. I don't think he's really that great of a leader, to be honest with you, because if he was, he would have led that Thunder team to a championship. He would have led that Brooklyn Nets team to at least the finals. He hasn't done much since he left Curry. All right. So he went on a 73 win team to win 2 championships.
That's what it took for him to win a ring.
Yeah, to me, those 2 championships is the equivalent of one. To be honest, you combine them both together. They want to talk about Mickey Mouse ring. That was a tough championship. In the playoff bubble, that was tough because we're talking about teams that locked themselves in a room, right? They locked themselves in. It was nothing but basketball, no distractions, no home court advantages, just pure hooping. And we saw some of the best performances in that bubble as far as playoffs go. It was exciting. So they want to talk about that was a Mickey Mouse ring? No. The Golden State Warriors 2 championships were Mickey Mouse rings. All right, them shits was fake. You know, how you gonna add a MVP candidate to a 73 win team? We ain't never seen that in the history of the NBA.
Only in 2K. Only in 2K.
Only in 2K. and I remember watching that season, those 2 seasons as a Laker fan, realistically, and telling my fellow Laker fans, like, I'm gonna watch this season because I love the Lakers, but I expect the Warriors to win now, you know, for the next couple of years. And sure enough, that happened. So excuse me. So yeah, pretty much it was, to me, it was embarrassing championships. They are. And look what Solo said. He said casuals were saying that Prime Joker would run laps around Prime Shaq. In what world? Bro, depends the rules, let's be honest, because in these modern rules, Shaq would foul out almost every game. Okay. Just because he was too physical. And in the Shaq rules, Joker would be like a puppy, man. They push him around, he'd be flailing like a fish, he wouldn't get the calls. Now he gets the calls.
And we also got to think too. People love to compare what Shaq was when he was brought up. Listen, let me tell you right now. If Shaquille O'Neal was a 16-year-old kid today, he would have developed a jump shot already. There's no way a 16-year-old Shaquille O'Neal is not going to develop a jump shot. I don't care what anyone says. So now, fast forward when he's 18, 19, 20, you're talking about Shaquille O'Neal that can shoot threes now, because he's not going to not shoot threes. This is the game's evolved. So you always got to put that in your mind. Like, you can't compare these old, they weren't good three-point. They weren't good three-point shooters because they didn't have to shoot it and they weren't taught to shoot it. It was a different game and a different style. So I think, imagine if Shaq played now, he'd be, oh man, I don't even want to think about if Shaq played now. It'll be scary for the rest of the league.
If Shaq played now and they actually didn't freaking, because mind you, Shaq was so dominant, they invented a rule to stop him because they couldn't stop him. They invented the 3-second violation for Shaquille O'Neal.
For Shaq, yep.
Okay? So they got to stop disrespecting Shaq because Shaq was the most dominant player of all time, period. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Of all time, he's more dominant than Wilt, okay? In the paint, he was more dominant than the strong. He was a cannonball. Think of Shaq as a 7'1" Zion Williamson without the injuries.
That's what it was. That's what he was. That's literally what it was. Yeah.
He was a cannonball coming down the lane, and he would block everything in the paint, gobble up all the rebounds. He was a cannonball, man. And so,
in my opinion, what messed up Shaq was I think he played too long, man. Because a lot of the younger fans, they see the tail end of his career when he was a little overweight and a little slow. Bro, they got to look at Orlando Shaq, man. Orlando Shaq was running coast to coast like Giannis. It was scary. Yeah. It was real scary.
Yeah, and also what messed up his career was just his weight. He was never in shape at the end, you know, and that's what shortened his career with injuries and stuff. And that's unfortunate. But Shaq was the most dominant. I
wanted to add something though. When you were talking about the Lakers and Luka earlier, I want to just add something. Yeah. I think the reason why LeBron is finally taking a back seat, this is the first time in his career where he got a star player that lets him take a back seat. We haven't seen a LeBron play with someone that's better than him. Right now, Luka's better than LeBron. And Anthony Davis, as good as he was, and I know you guys love him in LA, LeBron wanted AD to be that. LeBron wanted AD to be the next guy to come in, dominate, and let, I will take a back seat, go ahead, go crazy, 30 and 10. And AD just never really did it. He never took the initiative, or he always got hurt. Luka came in, and Luka's like, yo, I got this. And LeBron's chilling. He's like, yo, like I'm good now. Like I see what's going on here. This is my guy. Yep. I'm gonna be the Wade, because remember Wade did the same thing. I'm gonna take the back seat. It's your team now. And I think LeBron finally got that, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing now. It's beautiful to watch, man.
It is beautiful to watch, and it takes a very high cerebral player to take that gracefully. So credit to LeBron James, because he's not letting his ego flare up and be like, no. I already won a championship for the Lakers. It's my team. No, he knows that his time is coming to an end, and he has to allow somebody else to take the driver's seat. Like you said, he wanted AD to do it. But Laker fans found out the hard way. As much as we love AD, and we're loyal and faithful to anybody who helped us to a title, so we're always going to love him. But as much as we found out the hard way, Anthony Davis was a Robin, never a Batman. And I told this to Laker fans probably the last 3 years that we had him, when he kept not showing up to big games, either whether he was injured or just he would have like a 13-point game with like 7 rebounds. I'm like, what the? Bro, you're getting paid max dollars. We needed you. Especially he shrank in the versus Joker. Joker will cook him, man.
Yeah, Joker was, yeah.
And same thing versus Sabonis. The foreign big men were cooking this man, running laps around him. And then we got Ayton. Ayton put a stop to that, man. He cooked Sabonis. First game he saw him, 20 and 10, and he held him to like 12 points. Like, to be honest, Ayton has given us
that's been the biggest surprise. That's been the biggest surprise.
More consistency than what AD was giving us. Now, AD is obviously a way better player than Ayton is when he wants to be. But after he won the ring, he seemed disinterested most nights, man. And that was my biggest issue with Anthony Davis, because it's frustrating to have a player of that magnitude, that caliber, and that talent, who has top 3 potential in the league, play like a bottom 10 player, top 10 player. Like, bro, you're a top 5 player at minimum, talent-wise. But you're playing like a 15 player, like the 15 rank. I remember one year ESPN ranked him number 19, and I was mad. But then coming into the season, like, oh, he's playing like a number 19 player for sure. Yeah. Right. So the disappointing AD was here. I thought him and LeBron were going to win 2 to 3 championships minimum. I really did. Yeah. I really believed that. And we didn't. So for me, that combo duo stint fell short. However, the Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron trio might actually win one. And
really good, yeah.
Luka Austin is going to win multiple titles, I believe, as long as we continue to plug in the right players around them year after year. That's the key right there. Yes, thank you, Kimiko. Everybody go subscribe to my brother Lou's channel. He's going to make time to put up basketball content. So make sure you guys tap in with him, man, and motivate him and encourage him. Push him, guys, to put out content. All right? We're going to hold him accountable. Yeah, because you know your stuff, man. I always have a lot of fun, but I feel like I'm talking to my brothers right now. Basketball, man. It's so comfortable.
It was good.
But all right, let's see. Solo says Brad knows that he's getting older, and if he's going to maximize the rest of his career, he will need to take a back seat. Yes, and we knew he was going to do that. LeBron fans didn't want to accept that because they're like, oh, it's LeBron. He's not going to be the third option to nobody. But it doesn't matter what the number is, as long as we're competing for a title and he stays healthy and he's efficient. That's all that matters. Yeah. And there's going to be nights where he looks like the first option. But most nights, he will allow Austin and Luka to do their thing. It's only when one of those guys has an off night that I think he will step up and try to have a bigger night. But as you can see, man, he got no problem with it. He addressed all the pundits, all the Kendrick P's, and everybody who's out there with the podcast and a hot mic. And he said, they really thought I wasn't going to fit in? Do they know who I am? It's LeBron James. I fit in anywhere. And so I'm glad he addressed that, man. We got a super chat. Okay, first one in the history of Coast to Coast. Appreciate you. My guy Logan. He said, I don't have a specific GOAT. It's impossible to have one GOAT because there's too many great players. I have a list to separate certain players. That's fair. That's fair. I have one GOAT. You guys know it. All right. I have one, and I'll tell you why. Because to me, it wasn't just what he did on the court, it's what he did off the court. Anybody who starts a movement and they call it Mamba mentality, I don't hear nobody saying Jordan mentality or LeBron mentality. Okay? This guy, Kobe Bryant, was the Bruce Lee of basketball. It was a way of life. It's different. Not even Jordan had the same work ethic and dedication that Kobe Bryant did. And that tells you everything. Now, Jordan was naturally gifted and he was in the gym for sure. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, who never was at the clubs, never gambled, never did anything but stay in the gym, locked in until his career was over. Okay? That's why he's my GOAT. It's not just basketball. 5 championships is special. 20 years with one franchise is special. Multiple, like, he's special. His basketball career is special, but we saw a man grow up and become a leader, So to me, that'll always be my GOAT because the footwork was. He did things not even Jordan or LeBron have done, like 81 points. He's done things like scoring back-to-back 60-point games. Nobody's done that. You know what I mean? So he was a true killer, and it was more so a lifestyle and an art form, and that's why I choose him as my GOAT, man. Who's your GOAT, Lou? I think I heard this before. I think we had a little mini argument about it. Tell me it's Steph Curry.
No, it's not Steph Curry. But he's
Okay.
in my top 5. I think that's what we disagreed because I got on my top 5. No, Michael
I'll
Jordan.
give you pass. It's
Michael
almost
Jordan is my
Thanksgiving. I'll
GOAT.
give you pass.
Yeah, Michael Jordan is my GOAT, man. I was lucky enough to see the last 3 championships live. Like I seen it with my own 2 eyes. So I seen Jordan play, and I remember when my pops told me the last ring he won. My father said, "Pay attention to that guy because you're never gonna see another basketball player like him in your life." And I watched that. I was watching him in the playoffs. Michael Jordan was different, bro. He was just you could see, and you seen it with Kobe too, because they're very very similar in that mindset. Like when you watch them play, their faces, there's no emotion, it's dead eyes, no smiling to their teammates, no high fiving. It's just killer mentality. And I've seen what Michael Jordan did, and not only that, Michael Jordan had the best NBA prime out of anyone I've ever seen in my life. Even if I go back to the history books and I look up, no one has a better prime. And when I talk about prime, I'm talking about age 25 to 35. No one's done in a 10-year span what Michael Jordan has done ever. 6 championships in 10 years, 10 scoring titles in 10 years, defensive player, 5 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, all-team, all-NBA, all-star 10 straight years. No one's had the resume speaks for itself. So that's why he's my GOAT, in my opinion.
That's fair, man. Hey, and I never argue with people about their GOAT because at the end of the day, the GOAT conversation is on your own personal opinion. In reality, if you look at what greatest of all time, if you dissect that meaning, all time is never going to happen. So there really is no GOAT because we don't know if 30 years from now somebody comes in and wins 10 championships in a row. The way the game is evolving, you just don't know, you know? So there is no greatest of all time because time will continue to pass even when we're far long and gone, and we're not going to be able to definitively say this guy is the best ever because new guys will come in and we don't know how great they're going to be, right? Yep. So, but I do like the combo. I do like the topic because we get to hear who's special to who and why. You just made a good argument to why your guy is special to you and why he's your favorite of all time. I think it should be Fo. Right, favorite of all time. That should be the new name. It don't sound right. It don't sound good, right? Like that should be the topic. But in all fairness, I can't argue against Michael. I can't argue against LeBron. I can only argue for my own favorite, right? And that's the way the GOAT conversation always goes. My guy Solo says AD is a huge disappointment. And I'll tell you why. It's not just the injuries; it's the mindset for me. Like he don't have that killer in him. He's a Robin, and I didn't want to accept that when we first traded for him. I was like, oh, we got 2 Batmans. No, he's a Robin. Yeah. Miguel says, I think Ayton as a new big fundamental, no flash in his game, just straight buckets, pick and roll, and pick and pop, lobs, etc. Exactly. And he is Ayton is just consistency. And I think that is where the Suns didn't know how to use him, and that is where the Portland Trailblazers didn't know how to use him. We're talking about losing franchises, right?
And so he's a Luka player. He's a Luka player too.
But my thing is with Ayton, he's 10 for 13 from the field. He's 9 for 11. You know, he's having these type of games. He's had plenty of 20 and 10s already. And you can see that he's just fundamentally safe, like my guy Miguel said. When they drafted him on the Suns, they wanted him to be the next big man, the next Kevin Garnett or the next big thing. And he was just fun. He's just a good player. He's just a good, solid player. He's not what they wanted him to be. So what happens is, we drafted him. He's a bust. Let's kick him to the curb. Portland picks him up. They're like, okay, maybe we can, we can bring out the best in him. He's no pressure here, whatever. We don't see you as the number 1 pick. We just see you as a big man with potential. But it's losing basketball. Aiden said it himself, man. There's no motivation playing for a losing franchise. It's losing basketball, and he was playing with injuries. Now he comes to Lakers, where, like you said, bro, he's got Luka, he's got Austin, he's got LeBron, 3 elite playmakers that are going to set him up. All he has to do is rim run, get to the spots, and finish. That's literally all he has to do. Defensive end, just do what you do, man. You're an anchor down low. You're the last line of defense. It's simple for a player like that because he's really good. He's a really good player. He really is worth a top 5 pick in the draft. Maybe he wasn't the official number 1 franchise changer that they thought he was going to be, right?
Yeah, so, but not only that too. When you draft a guy, and I think Luka was in that same draft class. So when you draft a guy number 1, and then the number 3 or number 5 guy, Trey Young, Luka. You seen all the guys after him having crazy careers. It makes the number 1 guy look bad. He was never a bad player. He just got drafted in a bad spot.
Yes.
And if anything, that's why I always say, I don't know if I said it here before, but when people say bust, I don't think there's a such thing as a bust when it comes to the player. I think we got to start putting blame on the GMs that draft these guys where they shouldn't have been drafted. So the GM is the bust. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a whole other conversation for another day. But I think now Ayton's on the team, like you said. He's a great player for when you have a good playmakers around. He got 3. He got 3 elite playmakers now, so that's why you're seeing the best of them.
That's insane. That was one of the greatest takes I've ever heard. I'm not even trying to glaze. This man said
the GM
the player isn't the bust. The GM is the bust.
Absolutely. I've been saying that forever, bro. Listen, you know what I've been saying that when Greg Oden, he had those injuries before he even got drafted. They talked about how his one leg was longer than the other. Remember that? I don't know if you remember that with Greg Oden, and they still took him over Durant. If I'm the GM, I'm not taking him over Durant. I see what Durant did. I'm not going to make that mistake. That mistake's on me. So now when he gets drafted and he's not a bust. When you're Cleveland and you take Anthony Bennett, when he got drafted, they were like, oh, what? There's a reason why that reaction was there, because nobody expected him. He was not a number 1 pick. And now people want to clown him for being a bust. He never asked for that. It's the GM that did that. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
I'm sorry, but that was the bar right there that you dropped when you said it's not the player that's a bust, the GM is the bust. That deserves a standing ovation real quick.
Crazy, man.
That was one of those, like, you're fucking right. It's not Ayton's fault he was drafted number 1. It's the GM's fault. He made that decision. He drafted Ayton over Luka. He drafted Ayton over Trey Young.
Yep.
Like, that's 1-800 your fault. And sometimes, and this is a mistake that GMs do a lot, is they will draft somebody based off of team need and then expect them to be better than the other player that was more talented.
Yes.
Me personally, I'm looking at free agency and the trade market for team needs. And I'm going into the drafting the best player available, because that's how you end up. When you don't do that, that's how you end up passing on the Kevin Durant's of the world, on the Luka Doncic's of the world.
Yep.
When you don't take the best player available, I'm always taking the best player available. And guess what? If I already have a player at that position and the best player available ends up being better than that player at the position, then I'm trading that player at that position.
Yep. Then you got to make a decision. That's what happened with Magic. Remember Magic? He felt pressure to take Lonzo when De'Aaron Fox was right there. Like things like that happen. Sometimes you just got to go with who you know is better. But
absolutely. Yep. Solo says, "My goat is Kobe. Great memories watching him." Me too, bro. And this one right here hits the feelers, because Kobe brought me and my family together. He was like another family member. Exactly. That's how he was to LA. My mom loved Kobe, man. My mom cried when he passed. We all did. And when he retired, me and my brother, bro, we shed tears because we saw this man grow up a Laker from the moment he was drafted all the way to his last day, when he dropped 60 points on his last game versus the Jazz in a win. By the way, we're losing most of that game. Kobe wasn't having a good game stat-wise, but the fact that he had one more killer moment in him, it literally made shed a tear, bro, because it was like, damn, we're never going to see this level of dedication and talent again, probably. But lo and behold, and I said this the moment we traded for Luka, man. Luka's cut from a similar cloth. Now, I'm not saying he's a better player than Kobe. I never will say anything like that. But I will say he's cut from the same cloth where we got the best killer since Kobe retired, a Laker. I didn't think it would be this soon. You know? Kobe retired in 2017, right? 2016? 2025.
2016, yeah. And in my opinion, and this is not a knock on LeBron at all, but you guys got LeBron towards the end of his career. I genuinely think Luka is the best player to join the Lakers since Kobe. I'm just talking about right now, like prime Luka Doncic is a better player than when LeBron joined the Lakers. That's what I mean by that. So if there's any Bron fans, I'm not saying Bron's a bum. I'm just saying I think
my man don't want the smoke, man.
I'm just I don't want to deal with all that right now.
He said, "Nah, man. At least I'm a family man, man. Just me and my daughter. Look, I don't want no smoke." Look, listen. At the end of the day, LeBron James came here at the end of his prime, because he still has some prime juice left in him. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's today's version of LeBron when he got here. But you're absolutely right. We're getting Luka when he's not even yet entered his prime yet. He's barely
Yeah.
starting. Listen, he had 24 points in the first quarter. I'm sitting here thinking, hold up, is he about to break Kobe's 81? Like, you know? And I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be him. It's going to be him. He already dropped 73 in Atlanta. If anybody's going to break Kobe's 81, and I told this to my fellow Laker fans because some were saying, oh, maybe we don't want him to break Kobe's record. But I'm like, it's only right. If anybody does it, it's in a Laker uniform, and it's Luka, one of the Kobe disciples / LeBron disciples, man.
Yep.
It would be awesome to see it happen, to be honest.
That was his daughter's favorite player, I think, too, right?
Yeah.
Was it Trae Young? Was it Trae Young?
It was Luka, I think. Luka and Trae Young.
Yeah, it was Luka and Trae, because I remember they went to the game and all that. I remember that.
It's beautiful, man. We're blessed. Laker, I've been telling you this. I've known you for about 10 years now, Lou, and I've been telling you this when you used to ask me, are you concerned about the Lakers once Kobe retires? I don't know if you remember this conversation we had, but I told you I'm never concerned, man. Historically, the Lakers always go and grab a superstar. And, we don't build through the draft. We build through trades and through free agency. That's where we land our and sometimes we get lucky in the draft or not draft. Like Austin Reeves was ours undrafted, bro. So we get lucky. The fact that he wasn't a first-round pick is crazy to me still today. But it shows you how some of these people don't deserve their jobs. But all right.
My fault, real quick before you do that. I don't know if you've heard, but I heard rumblings around that Kyrie Irving is actually healthy and wants to join the Lakers. You heard about that?
I haven't heard about the Laker rumor, but I heard that he's getting healthy and he's gonna, come back soon. That's what I did hear.
Okay, yeah, because I heard he was at a wedding in the Bahamas and shit, jumping up and down, and he's ready to go. He's just not playing for the Mavericks. I was like, oh, okay.
To be honest with you, I love Kyrie Irving. I would only trade for him if he's willing to come off the bench because what we have in the starting lineup right now is too good to break up. If they're willing to offload him for like Gabe Vincent, Vando, and a first-round pick, I'd do it. Bring him off the bench, and then just throw in a wing or something over here. But I don't think he goes anywhere. I think they're gonna use him to try to teach some of the younger players some of his skill set, man. I think that's the way you use Kyrie if you're Dallas right now. I trade Anthony Davis. So let me ask you this: where you got Anthony Davis going?
If he gets moved, probably Chicago. He's from Chicago, ain't he?
Yeah.
Probably Chicago or Detroit if they want to risk it. I wouldn't mess with anything in Detroit unless they can keep everyone intact, the core. I wouldn't mess with it, but probably Chicago.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Chicago will be a great fit. I think. I feel bad for AD, bro. I don't know why. I just feel bad for him. I feel like he did not want to be in Dallas. That's why he gained the weight. I think depression plus eating Tex-Mex food is going to get you pretty plumpy. So I don't know, man. I want the best for him, except for when he's playing us. But I hope he gets traded to a good situation and not somewhere in the middle of nowhere, where he just goes and retires like Blake Griffin did. So yeah, I wish him the best for sure. Hey, what up, Tamika? Good to see you, girl. I gotta ask you, bro, before I let you go, man, because I know you got stuff to do. I gotta ask you, top three favorite dishes for Thanksgiving, man, that you like personally.
Top three favorite is definitely not turkey. I know everybody loves turkey. I'm not a big turkey guy, same. I like the good stuffing. Like if you know how to make a stuffing good, that's good. Okay. The sweet potatoes.
Ooh. Okay.
I like the sweet potatoes. Sometimes they put like little marshmallows in it. I like that. And then number 3, I'm Hispanic, man. I just like my rice and beans, man.
That's fair. Everything goes. I'm Hispanic too, so everything goes. Look, what we're about to have is not the general tradition. We usually have tamales. We have stuff like that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Penne. I love penne, man. With the crispy skin and all that.
That'll probably be. I never heard of that.
Benny's like pork. It's the pork when you put the pig in the oven and you roast it, and the skin comes out real hard and crispy, but the meat's juicy. You ever had that?
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably my number 1. Yeah, I probably.
Okay. For me, these are my top 3. Just I'm gonna separate it because I love food and then I love dessert. All right. Okay. My top 3. Number 1. and it's gonna throw people for a loop because most people probably don't have this during the Thanksgiving. But lasagna, bro, I love lasagna, man. A good lasagna with some parm on it, please, man. Number 2 for me is tamales. I love tamales. I'm Hispanic, just like you. I love tamales, bro. Whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving, throw some tamales in there, and I'm a happy camper. And then my number 3, and I said this yesterday on the stream, but it has to be a staple for almost every household. Mac and cheese, but baked, right?
Okay, yeah.
Not the regular soupy stuff, not the Velveeta shells. I'm talking about the baked. My girl makes a 5-layer mac and cheese that is bomb, bro, during the holidays, and it lasts us for days because she makes a big pot. It lasts us for a lot of days. So mac and cheese for me is an absolute staple. That's just the meals. Let's not get started with the dessert because I can go all day. You know what I mean?
She's gonna cook it up. She's gonna cook something up.
We're gonna go to my cousin's house, and both my cousin and her, girl power, man. They're about to kill it in that kitchen, man. I'm gonna be sitting there like a kid in Christmas waiting for his present. I'll be sitting there, man, just drooling and stuff. But yeah,
I'm gonna buy you a 5X sweater and send it to you, man, because you're gonna need it after all that food. Man.
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna use it as a blanket, bro. I'm gonna be cold. All that food I'm gonna eat. But nah, bro. Man, let's see. My guy said greens, mac, dressing, and turkey. My mother-in-law makes that turkey so damn good. Turkey is different over here. Turkey's delicious over here too. I've had turkey with like cranberry sauce on the side and stuff like that with mashed potatoes and gravy. I've had it. It's delicious. It's not. I'm not roasting turkey, but it's not my favorite. There's so many other delicious foods out there that you can have that just turkey's not on my priority list.
The best turkey I had for real is when I went over to my friend's house for Thanksgiving the day after for like leftovers, and they had deep fried turkey. And it was the most unhealthiest thing I've ever had, but it was so good, bro. It was so good.
Yeah. You know what? I probably just don't like. I don't like turkey and prioritize it because a lot of the turkeys I've had was like at work. Them whack ass turkeys they bring, bro.
Right.
It's like they probably just gave it a bad name, but I've had some really delicious ones. To be fair, turkey is delicious when prepared properly, for sure. So that's just to be fair. My guy said, "Hey man, gave me an idea. Next Thanksgiving, I'm making lasagna." But it's so good. It's one of my favorite meals that my girl makes for me, and I don't have it often. Otherwise, I'd be like 300 pounds. But when I do have it, like once a year or twice a year, it is really good, man. And my girl is a queen when it comes to making that stuff. So I said, trust me, if y'all had this turkey, it will be in your rotation. Probably. I never turn down a good meal. I'll say that. Never, man. If anybody got a hot plate for your boy? I'm stopping by, man.
Yep.
I'm pulling up, man. I'm pulling up like the Christmas toy drive instead of giving, though. I'll be taking a plate here, plate there.
But Thanksgiving.
Any plate, man. Any plate. I never turn down a good plate, man. My neighbor makes me a plate, I have it. I remember one year my mom bought a plate off of my neighbors, and they have made what they make birria, and it was bomb, bro.
What's that?
So birria is how do you call it? Goat meat. It's goat meat.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. Some people know how to prepare it so good. I'm usually not a huge fan of birria either, but when it's prepared like that, I told my mom, "Hey, we got to get seconds." It was bomb, bro. It was absolutely bomb. And it is good, Kimiko. And you got everybody in the chat. Whatever you guys are going to have for Thanksgiving, drop it in the comment section, man. We'd love to hear it. But that is going to wrap it up for us here at NBA Coast to Coast. I want to say thank you to my co-host, Lou, bro, for making time. I know you're busy, but appreciate you, bro, for making time today. And want to thank the chat, man. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the comments, the likes. If you already
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yes, sir. And Luke, good luck to your Knicks, bro. The rest of the way. I hope that they skyrocket, man. I hope that they start taking,
too, man.
Getting a nice little rhythm. And as far as my Lakers go, man, 13 and 4 right now. So we are looking great, man. But that's gonna wrap it up for us here. Thank you guys again so much, and appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right.
Peace. Take it easy, yeah.